We're about to explore Melly Rose's incredible house. This isn't just any house. This is the second level 400 Palia house that I've toured. Now, as I walk through this mid-century modern masterpiece, I could not find words. The design, the flow, every little attention to detail, it was like slipping into a whole nother world. The question you need to ask yourself right now is, are you ready? Because I wasn't. I'm here with Melly Rose and her beautiful house. My goodness. Like, I already love the outside, how you have everything just kind of laid out, and you're my tour guide. How you doing, by the way?
Doing great. How are you this evening?
I'm doing so much better. So much better.
You're very dapper.
Oh, thank you.
All dressed up.
Thank you. I like to wear my Palian best for the tours. So where are we going first?
If you want to start at the very beginning, I kind of thought it'd be fun to offset the Magimarket arch, because most people, I mean, the only thing you can do is put it right in front of your house and lead to the front door.
Right.
So I decided instead to put it offset to the right. And so it features my Kitsu when he comes out at midnight.
I love it.
You can go through this archway, or you can take pictures outside of this archway that show the Kitsu sitting on his little platform.
Yeah, definitely.
So it just makes a little bit of an interesting, different entrance. But then the main entrance, of course, leads to the front door, and that's where we have the trees and the lighting.
I love the lighting.
I tried several different tree styles, but I ended up going with the oaks. I kind of like them.
Strong.
The strong and straight, kind of. And I know a lot of people are kind of tired of this pathway, since it's kind of the only one we have in the game.
Give us some more path, please. We need more path.
Yes, more pathways.
But so, I like how you didn't just keep it square. Like, for the sides, you did the diamond shapes, and then leading up to your house, you have it squared off.
I thought I would mix it up a little bit and lay it out a little differently, maybe, because I know people are tired of seeing it, but it is what we have right now. So
yes,
I just went ahead and went with it. If we head out this way, it just goes to the farm, and it is a working farm, so it's probably got weeds on it, but it's the money maker type stuff, as one of your other what did she call it? The shmoney makers.
Shmoney makers.
Yeah, so done a lot of farming in the game, and
one of the things that I always it's kind of a little joke that I have. Like, it's like the moment that you bring out Excel spreadsheets for a game, it's all over then.
And that's why my garden's a little funny looking right now. I did follow one of the other content creators, their little plan spreadsheet, and it was too hard to keep it going, because things came ready for harvest in 3 days, and then 4 days, and 5 days, and 6 days. And so 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, you're harvesting something different every hour. And it was you'd forget what goes in what spot. Anyway, but I did have it surrounded with one of those fences where you put post by post, single post by single post, that a lot of people are using these days. But it took about 400 of them. And when I hit the 2,000 limit, I had to change some things. So I took that fence out, and I put in the pots with the wheat. Yeah. Because it kind of feels like I'm storing my grain while it dries out in these grain bins, and it's going to go to market soon. So
love it. I love it.
Kind of gave it different. And then, of course, this is the little watering garden that has the baby plants. And you get this from Bedrew.
Awesome.
With your coins, if you choose to. I thought instead of the well, because a lot of people get the well, I thought, well, I will have the little baby plant garden.
You thought, well.
But I like the way it looks, and I like that it's kind of like a little fountain. So it's kind of neat.
So I like how you did the wheat and the fountain and everything, and You bring a really good, interesting point that I always like to make when it comes to finite resources. It's like you reach this limit and you're just like, well, I want to put some more stuff down, but I maybe just don't want these fences here. So it's like that resource limit kind of makes you take a step back and be creative. I always like
You're
that.
right.
Yeah.
You're right. It's a problem-solving kind of exercise. So I had to solve a problem, and this was how I solved that one. It used about a fourth of the amount, about 100 items as opposed to 400. So it was helpful in that way, and I could go ahead and plant some more trees and do other things I wanted to do. As I've seen on your videos, sometimes you have to take away a candle to put in a chair. It's just the way it is.
It's just the way it is.
This is the hot tub area. Of course, we used to have one.
I love this.
At our house.
Got the little stepping stool, but I mean...
Yeah, and you've got to have the area around it. You can put your beer, your glass of wine, and a little snack. Have a light in the bottom of the hot tub. Because they usually are lighted. So I got a kick out of that, but that makes for a nice little area. Sit and relax. And then, as I've seen on some of your other videos, of course, some people like to have different seating areas when they have company, and people tend to group in 5 or 6 at a time to talk. You can't really talk when there's 30 of you at a party all in one group. So it's great to break up once in a while into littler groups.
Yeah.
So I kind of set it up that way. But that was also something I'd seen on one of your videos. I've heard other people say that, and I think that is really true. It's the way it is at my house. We have 4 or 5 seating areas in our yards, front and back. And so, kind of followed along with that. Music, and when we get together, everyone picks up a guitar and starts singing music. So
that's awesome. That's really awesome.
Had to have that out there. And then a little nod to Christmas coming. You'll see a few areas around my house where I've started red and green.
Oh, I can see that.
And I think, have you seen the green on the inside of Hodari's house? Hodari has olive green and a kind of a real dark, neat looking green. And we need that for Christmas.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll give us that. I'd love to have some more colors, as everyone would.
Yeah, definitely. Gazebos.
But this way, when we switch over our decorations to holiday, we've kind of got a head start.
Yeah, I think that's
in some areas.
Really good point to bring up. It's just like we've gotten through Halloween and now you're starting to transition, and it's not like a overnight sort of thing. I mean, maybe some of you will be overnight, probably a couple of hours, but you have a transition and it still works with how you have, the pumpkins and everything, but you started to incorporate some of the reds and the greens. So we're getting into festive season.
It's like that at my house. I've collected glass Christmas ornaments my entire life, and it takes me at least a week, sometimes a month, to get all the Christmas decorations put up. So it'll be like that around here too in Palia, I think.
This is incredible. This gazebo.
It's kind of a little different take on instead of the witchy vibe, which I do love. I wanted a relaxing vibe in this particular gazebo.
Yes.
So it kind of be a meditation type place, take me to church, as the song would say.
Yeah.
But that kind of thing gives you, I don't know, throw down your yoga mat, do some stretches. Not like I ever get that done myself at home, but
me neither.
It's nice. You've got some running water, and you've got lights and candles and a lot of blue and white. I'm sure your wife would tell you about colors and how they affect you. And your energy, and
absolutely.
What is soothing and what causes you to be full of energy.
I've learned so much about color from her. Absolutely. My brain goes to Harry Potter, like Order of the Phoenix.
Oh, it really does. It really does. Now that you say that.
But I love how you framed everything with the little garden, and you got your lights, and then it's like at this point, right where I'm standing, you have a decision to make. You can either go left or you can go right, and both are excellent choices. Where are we going?
Yes, there are a couple of paths that lead off. One of them I jokingly call my mother-in-law suite.
Ooh.
I know a lot of people put their very best furniture out in their gazebo, and I thought I would be different and put my very best furniture out in the tent.
Ooh, that's intense.
Just to have something a little different. Depending on how close you are with your mother-in-law and how close you want them to your house.
Yeah, right.
You could have a tent in the yard with all of their favorite fancy things in it, so they'd feel right at home.
Yeah, it's just like, that she likes dragons and she likes blue, and that's about it.
That's right. That's exactly right. And the juxtaposition of dragons and blue is kind of similar to beautiful furniture and a tent.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. This is awesome.
And a bathtub full of flowers that has a dragon on it, what could be better?
Yeah, exactly.
And you've got your little chase lawn out here that you can lay in the sun and get a tan, which I'm sure, not sure, what the skies are like in Palia after we've been underground for 10,000 years.
That's true. I don't know if I would really fit very well. I don't think it'd be very comfortable. Like my feet would hang off the edge, but
it's a little short. I think it might have to be for Ani. I don't know. I have heard Hecla. Hecla did say once that she was trying to make homemade sunscreen for Gina. So maybe they do have to watch their sunshine. You never know.
Yeah, totally.
But over here we've got just a little fountain and the telescope, which I love. My brother has built an observatory at his house, and he loves telescopes, and so I love them too. So it's kind of fun to have the telescope. And the flower beds, of course, a lot of people have done the flower beds like this because we don't have bushes.
Yeah, come on now. Singularity 6, get with it.
I think that everything, and a lot of people are going to tell you the same thing. If you play a game and you see things in the game, then you should be able to have them at your house. So everything they have at Tamala's house should be available for us to make.
Right.
And she has a lot of bushes and flowers. And look at Delilah at her house out on the farm. Beautiful flower bushes. Beautiful, bushes and flowers everywhere. We need those too.
Just not right.
So I'm just
teasing
begging
us.
the developers to give us some shrubbery. Roger the shrubber could come around and sell us some shrubbery. It would be great. Nobody's going to get that reference unless they've watched some old Monty Python. But anyway.
Yes, a shrubbery. One that looks nice and not too expensive.
But this is my little getaway. My undergraduate degree was in history, but my graduate degree was in crime fiction, creative writing. And I love having a little place to write. And I always loved the women who wrote books in the 16 and 17 and 1800s and had to use a man's name. A pen name that was a man's name in order to get published. And this Gothic furniture reminds me of those Gothic periods where those women sat in candlelight at night and in hiding in secret places and wrote books. So this is my little secret place to write books.
Do you have a favorite author?
Oh my gosh, so many. Michael Conley. I guess I would have to say right off the top, James Lee Burke. He's the Faulkner of the South. James Lee Burke is just, he's wonderful. But yeah, Michael Conley and any crime writer, of course. I love crime fiction. So.
I noticed you have torches on the top of your gazebos.
I do. I thought it might be kind of fun if it was like a lighthouse.
Awesome.
And so when we got the Emberborn braziers, those are Emberborn braziers up there, shining out of each side of the gazebo.
Yeah. That's
Everyone
a really nice touch.
can find this now.
Yeah. All of Palia knows you're here.
Yeah, it's like we only have a certain limited number of items in the game to use, so everyone who's decorating their plot is using all the same stuff. I'm not any special person. I'm not any different than anyone else. Everyone puts theirs together differently. And they might have their Emberborn braziers out front, or they might use them as a fire pit so that they could roast hot dogs. Mine happened to be in the top of my gazebo as a lighthouse.
Yeah, but
different
I
ways
mean,
of using
come
them.
on, you're downplaying this. Like this is incredibly impressive.
Oh, thank you. This is the work area, and all of these used to be small fish tanks. So I had hundreds of fish out here,
Oh.
but I had to take them down and use large ones because I hit the item limit. So anyway, I thought everybody has such beautiful fish rooms, aquarium rooms in their houses, and I wanted to do something different and put them outside. And use them as a wall to hide my workspace because, unfortunately, this is a working farm. We work hard here all day, every day.
Sun up to sundown.
The money makers are always going. If there's any way to make money in the game, I'm using it. I'm doing it. Other than I didn't do a lot of cake parties. I went to one. And I was the batter person, and I didn't know how to do it, and I had never been, and I kept kind of messing up and slowing things down a little bit. So all the other people at the cake party got out a hoe. They each were carrying a hoe, and they came over like a big group of warriors and were attacking me with the hoes.
Oh, that's just rude.
To teach me that I was doing it wrong.
Oh my gosh. Me,
So
I
said,
I was
not
so
gonna go
nervous
back
at cake parties. I manned the ovens.
I was too. I was a nervous wreck, and I thought, I'm not going to go back. But
game like things should not give you anxiety, you know.
Yeah. I just, I got nervous, and I kept leafing when I was supposed to be battering, or But so this little area. This is an area that's sort of given a nod to Christmas that's coming up, and I like to call it Reindeer Games.
Yeah.
So this is the Reindeer Games area. So you've got to have Rudolph and, whatever the little reindeer names are.
Rudolph and Ralph.
Yep. They've got red and green games they can play over in this little corner, so it's kind of fun.
Little tic-tac-toe. It's such a cool little concept.
But it kind of is neat that some people might get an idea by watching this and see, oh my gosh, we can use some red wallpaper and some green wallpaper and put up a green tree that's like a Christmas tree and do a little red and green decorating. And voila, even without special Christmas decorations, we're already making Christmas. So we're already making a holiday. And
definitely.
Just like Europeans brought all of their traditions with them to America when they came, the Native Americans weren't having Christmas, they weren't having Halloween, but they certainly learned about it from all the Europeans that came over and the Vikings and whatnot. We kind of bring our traditions with us. So we're bringing our traditions to Palia. So we had Halloween and we'll have Christmas, even though they don't.
Absolutely.
And the back porch again, is just sort of changed into a red-green area.
Yeah. It makes a face.
It does. It does. I thought it looked like eyebrows right away.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, wait.
But
it's kind of a nod toward what you can do with our coloring bench, and I love that we have that. I love the Dubs for giving us that, and I hope they continue to expand it.
Yeah, definitely. Like that's really creative. You're just like, okay, well, we don't necessarily have Christmas items in the game yet, but I can work with this. I can work with this.
We come up with things like you said earlier. It kind of is like a puzzle that we have to solve. It's like, well, this is what I want, and if we don't exactly have it, then we'll make it up. We'll come up with something.
We'll make it happen. I like this.
And that's why your videos are so great. Everybody needs to subscribe to your channel because they should watch your videos.
Oh, thank you.
It's wonderful the way that YouTube will choose your videos one after another. You don't even have to touch the TV or the controller, and you can just watch them for hours if you want to and see everybody's houses. And you do a great service to all of us who love this game and get a lot of joy out of this game because we all feed off of each other's ideas.
I really appreciate that. Thank you. You
and Ellie, your wonderful wife. This fountain is the regular fountain color.
Mm-hmm.
I learned from Ellie that you can color your fountains, so all the other fountains at my house are colored.
That's so cool.
Thank you to your wife for wonderful inspiration.
I will pass on the love for sure.
This area is one that I really thought of you, Commit, because I thought the way that you like the woods and little secret places in the woods to go, I thought you would get a kick out of the fact that the choppers took over my forest and they're not leaving. And
That's
I'm
adorable.
lucky they let me come here. The dragons and the choppers own the place, and they let me rent.
Little outdoor picnic.
Yeah, the dragons are having a picnic, and
I love that. My brain
enjoying
is just tickled because, it's just like little.
they're enjoying the fact that they have this makeshift furniture and that you can have a makeshift outhouse and color it red if you so desire. I love that. And there's different levels of picnicking. Some people picnic at a picnic table, and some people on the ground. And choppas apparently are the same way.
They are everywhere they can.
That's one thing. I'm so sorry. That's one thing I would wish for. I would wish these choppa pillows could lay at an angle, like up on the pillow.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They only lay flat, so you can't put them on your couch or your chair and show them off. But anyway, not a big deal. But
that's a really good point because,
Well, hello, devs. I love your game, and can we put our pillows at an angle? But this is the first fountain I colored, and it's in the tradition color, the red, which I think they call the traditional.
So it's interesting because like there's other games out there, like Starfield is an example recently that allows you to move things like Palia. You can do it vertically and horizontally, but like you can't really adjust the angle of it. And I think that would be something that would be really powerful, is just like, okay, well, I can put it in this space, but like how can I rotate it? Because then that would open up so much design.
I played Valheim for a while with my nephews, and in Valheim they have like some apps that you can add to it called Clutter, and they have pillows that you could change the angle on. And so that was kind of neat. Oh, I forgot the bathtub fountain.
Oh, yeah. Let's go check it out.
I don't know if people realize, but if you turn on this tub, the water continues to run. It doesn't shut off when you walk away. So you have a fountain.
That's adorable.
It's kind of like a makeshift fountain using the industrial tubs. And the little chopper loves it. So cute.
It's taking a bath, enjoying life. I saw these three guys over here just hanging out,
Where my husband was helping me decide what kind of things we could stack up to get the pumpkins to the right height so their faces would show in the chops.
Yeah, I'm gonna show that real quick, just how I've seen some people do it, and I think it's really kind of enlightening to actually be able to see behind and see how they got that height.
Yeah, that so people can get an idea or an inspiration if they want to do it at their house. That's why I thought I'd tell you that we stacked up a lot of different things to get the right heights for each one, and
I love
people can try it out.
Love these outdoor areas, and we got a guard dog here.
Yeah,
the bouncer.
Tao's such a good boy. And of course, this is the little animal that Hecla had for her baby potato, Sona.
Aww.
And so if you finish Hecla, I guess that would be a spoiler. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay.
It's something you get in game for doing quests. I guess I can say that.
Yeah.
I haven't been lucky enough to get any out of Zeki's Wondrous Machine, but my husband has. He has one with overalls, and he already got a Kitsu out of the Wondrous Machine. I'm so jealous. Oh,
I love I got the camera angled, and I love the sight line that we have all the way down this row of trees and lanterns.
I think I'm a little bit like Ellie in the way that I sort of do like some clean straight lines sometimes, and some a little bit clean, not quite cluttered up sort of areas where
clean core,
where you can clean core, where you can just take a little straight line down this path. And then this was the other fountain, of course, that's in the autumn colors. If anybody wants to make it at home, you just take your fountain to your coloring bench and pick autumn, and it'll come out like this.
I love it.
It's kind of neat. And I even took the flower pots and colored them in autumn. Normally the pots are purple underneath on those flowers, but you can color them.
One kind of vibe that I get, that like the first word that comes to mind when I'm looking down all of the rows and seeing the lanterns and everything, the word that comes to mind is fairy tale. It feels very much like a fairy tale, just kind of like walking through the path, and how you have like how those the lamps kind of have the trees. It's like it feels very fairy tale to me.
It really does. And that's a perfect way to describe it. When you have enough reality in your life, everybody has something.
Yes.
Everybody has illnesses or sicknesses. I've had, some health problems, and everybody has limitations. And so when you play your video game, you don't have any of that.
Yeah, right.
You're perfectly healthy, you're well, and you're living in Neverland.
Your brain gets to go, so nice.
It's my very first gaming experience in my life was Dungeons and Dragons on a tabletop.
Nice.
Tabletop Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
And it would have been great to have this kind of a way to fix it up, back in the day. Instead we were in college at a tabletop rolling dice and drawing pictures on a, notebook.
Hey.
But
totally.
Now life has changed so much. But okay, well, this is in the front door. And one of the things my sister, the interior designer, taught me was that sometimes it's good to have something that stops you. So when you come in the front door, you're going to come in behind a couch, and you might think that's odd, but it just allows you to stop and use your eyes.
So if y'all liked what we have so far, don't forget to like and comment on the outside of the house, because this is usually, just a fair warning, this is usually where things get very real in a tour. So let's do this. I'm excited. Oh,
welcome home, as they say in Palia.
My God. Tell me about this.
This is mid-century modern. The 1950s into the 1960s was a period in American decor called mid-century modern. And they made houses, ranch houses, with giant big rooms. It's where the great room came from. And they would make a big room, and then they would divide it up with plants or bamboo or some kind of natural walls. And so I'm emulating their style because I love this Zeki furniture, this city chic furniture, because it's very mid-mod. These circle chairs were very exemplary of that time period, and I love them. And I have mid-mod in my own house that I live in. My real house is mid-mod, and so I wanted to go ahead and give a nod to that style. So the master, the great room, dining room, the master bedroom, and the master bath are all in mid-mod style.
Is everyone else's jaw just like dropped? Because words are hard. Commit. Come on now. This is insane, incredible.
Do you like it?
Fantastic. Like,
it's very different than most places. I didn't know if you would like it, but
no, it really is fantastic. Like how you have everything balanced and laid out, and you got rugs in places that need rugs, and your gallery walls and your colors and everything that's on the table, how you have it all dressed up, and you have a bar with bottles that are different colors.
Everybody has to have, a beverage in their life, whether it be a soda or a drink. Beverages are available at the bar.
Yes, hydrate.
Hydrate. You might want bottled water, and it might be raspberry flavored. So you have all colors bottles. And this is the art gallery.
Oh my gosh.
I wanted to have a little modern gallery, which is another thing that started in people's homes in the 50s, and a clean cut gallery like this. They had really ornate galleries in, 300, 400, 500 years ago, but in the mid-century in America, they started really paring down and simplifying things. And this art gallery is an example of that kind of design.
For real,
it's,
it is so clean and just it's
a soap opera of all my loves.
yeah.
Walls.
I love the directional lighting too, just kind of to get focus on certain things, and
It's a little bit you can't really control how bright it is. It's that bright, and so it might wash the paintings out a little bit if you direct it right on the painting. So I kind of direct it into the corners a little bit, and then into the center on the the little Beauty and the Beast moment.
Yes, I noticed
but
that
that's the
little
nice
Beauty
thing
and the
about
Beast flower. Petals are still there. We're still good.
Yep, the petals are still there. We are fine. We can have a drink on our way by. And then the other side will come back this way,
yeah,
but the other side of the house has other styles. But the mid-mod style goes here into the master, and then the master bath. So we'll see those.
Yeah, this is incredible. Love the bold and the blue and the gold, and
yeah, this is where you have his and her wardrobes. You each have your own wardrobe for your clothing, and got a nice king-size bed.
yeah.
I know it's very matchy-matchy, and a lot of people don't really like matchy-matchy, but some people really do. And I'm kind of a streamlined, clean lines sort of person, and
it definitely shows. And I think that, like, in the best way, it's balanced. It's very balanced.
Yeah. And that's partly to like I said, my older sister was an ASID interior designer her entire life, and she taught me little things like rules of 3s and 5s. So when you're decorating, if you put your paintings on the wall grouped in 3 instead of 2, somehow it's more pleasing to the brain. I have no idea why. I could not. I bet Ellie knows. I have to ask Ellie.
I will. I will ask her for sure.
If you follow some of those little things that, interior design rules, you can come up with some great designs, even in a video game.
Totally.
Especially a game like Palia that gives you so much beautiful stuff to work with,
This bathroom is lush.
It's a big one, isn't it? I know it's kind of oversized, but it's his and her.
Hey, it's not oversized. It's the right size.
Whatever your family consists of, you can both take baths at the same time while the kids are asleep.
And this room over here is so magical.
Yeah, any of the ladies that have come over to visit that I play the game with, but mostly we get together to chop trees so that we can have flow wood for making furniture. And so whenever they come over and have seen my house, this is their bedroom. They love this room, and they want to stay in this room. It has, of course, mostly matching furniture. It's Moonstruck, but I've put in a few things that are from other sets that you can color, like the curtains are bellflower, but you can color them purple and they fit right in.
Yeah, they do.
And the little buggy wallpaper seems to go with it. Making the little tree effect on the wall just kind of goes well with the bugs. And
yeah, it does.
it's a little bit witchy, but a little bit cozy. Kind of neat, but
it is.
And then through this way is everybody that comes in and sees this says, "Oh my gosh, you have Fiesta Ware. Where did you get Fiesta Ware?" Well, I made it.
You did.
You just take all of your brown things that you make and take them straight to your paint bench, and you spend $100 for each one to color it.
About the cost of Fiesta Ware.
Purple and red and green and blue. That was probably the most money I spent in this game was on the furniture kits, the furniture coloring kits that are 100 gold each. But
it's an investment that you can hand down to future generations.
Yeah, because how Fiesta Ware is. You can collect all of one color, or you can collect all the colors in different pieces, and it's been around for 100 years, and people still love Fiesta Ware.
Yes.
So I thought I'd give that a nod to the collectors.
So one of the things that we have Fiesta Ware, and on one side of the cabinet we have cool color Fiesta Ware, and on the other side of the cabinet we have warm color Fiesta Ware, and that is totally Ellie Jelly.
Ellie is a girl after my own heart, apparently. She's got some order, some streamlined,
Yes.
with some beautiful dishes.
And color-coded dishes.
This little thing, I don't know if too many people have that yet, but that comes from Wrath, from your guild coins. So if you get enough cooking coins, you can buy this 3-tray stand.
And that's a perfect place to display.
It won't stand on the furniture.
Oh.
So you can't put it up on a table, and you can't put it on your counter or your bar. You have to sit it on the floor. But maybe those things will change someday. It'd be great to be able to stack everything, but that's one of the things you can get from Wrath. I hope people will get some inspiration, looking around at some of the things maybe they haven't seen before.
Yeah.
And that happens to be one I hadn't seen before till I went to see Wrath about all that cooking. Ugh.
Oh my goodness. This is just so well done.
Thank you. And this part over here is the spare bedroom, and it is the guest bedroom, and it is matchy. It's Bellflower.
There's just something so clean about matchy, and
yeah, it's soothing. It's you could go right to sleep in this bed. I could, But this wallpaper is just perfect with the wainscoting at the bottom, and then that rust color at the top, and then all this green and gold. It's real complimentary. It's perfect color choices together.
Definitely is.
And you can, that's the Dragon Tide screen. It used to be blue. I made it green so it would match. So you can do that in your houses.
Yeah. That is so cool.
Take pieces from other sets and dye them if you're doing a matchy room.
Yeah, totally.
And at the same time, put some things on your bookshelves or whatever that might be like this Fiesta Ware from the kitchen, kind of pull it through the house by putting it a little bit on every bookshelf or something.
That's a good point. Yeah. Good idea. It's just so...
So that's this. And then in here is the man cave. This is my husband's office. He's a dentist, and when he's not at work, he likes to not have to think about business too much. He would rather relax and
play some games.
He likes to have some video games. He does a little video gaming. He's doing Palia with me. So it's kind of a fun man cave area for a trophy room.
Mm-hmm.
It's got kind of the red and rust and gold manly colors, so I'm just fits his style.
Yeah, I'm just enjoying all of the sight lines that you have all throughout, just as I'm looking around, and I know many of you are probably just like, okay, where are we gonna go next? Because there's so much to look at, and I'm following you. This is fantastic.
It is a lot. I do realize that, but
no, it's not. It's not a lot as in like a bad way. This is a treat. This is a treat.
And this room is more Dragon Tide, and then all the things from Zeki that I've gotten so far. But I have not been extremely lucky. RNG is not my friend, and so with RNG I get a lot of wheat seeds and repair kits and fireworks, but I don't get much in the way of furniture. What I do have is in here.
Hey, I mean, you I remember though, when that bed is like, that's coveted, and the fact that you got two.
When I got the bed, I thought it'd fall over. I was so excited. And then the next time I got something was about 20 days later. If you get one a day, if you don't buy them. And I had a lot of wheat seeds in between. And corn seeds, whatever. But
It's like
finally I got
Palia knew
another
you were.
furniture item, and it was the bed again.
It's like Palia knew you were farmer girl. It's like, this is what I think that you want. Come on, algorithm.
Yes,
Come on.
exactly. But I've played video games my entire life, and since video games became a thing, and RNG has never been my friend. But this other part of the house is more ClutterCore. So as one of your friends coined that term on her video, and I kind of like it.
Yeah.
But, my niece is an entomologist in New York, and she says she likes to have kind of a homey area where all her bugs are. So that kind of inspired me to give the bugs a homey home.
I love this. Because, like, there's nothing wrong with, like, just displaying. It's like, hey, I've caught all of the bugs in the game, and I've caught all the fish in the game, but how you have this decorated is very, very creative, because it's not just, hey, I caught all of these things, but like you said, they all have a place, It's like,
you can kind of incorporate them into your decor a little bit, and it flows naturally. This is something I did the first week that I was doing furniture in the game, but I think a lot of people are doing it now, which is turning a shelf over and hanging the plants upside down. But I do kind of like the way that looks in a room like this, where you've got a lot of makeshift kind of things, and you've got a lot of the bugs and the little fish. It's kind of neat to have things hanging from the ceiling, and we don't have a lot of hanging things in the game yet. So I decided to do a shelf full of plants and hang them upside down, and it blends in so well that you don't even notice it.
I didn't notice that. That's really fascinating.
Isn't that cool?
That is cool.
Yeah, I thought that was really fun. It goes with the makeshift really well.
Wow.
And I've noticed in some of your other people's houses that you've done that some people are starting to do it in doorways and all kinds of fun places. People have great imagination.
They really do. And that's funny that you mention it, because like I'm just kind of taking it all in, like just just going around the room and just panning around, but people are picking up things that I'm not even noticing, just like that, like those little details. I think that's fantastic that people are picking up on that. They're just like, oh my gosh, they took that and they turned it upside down and they did a creative way, and that's fantastic. I'm glad that everybody's kind of getting something out of this that is little hidden gems, That's awesome.
And it doesn't matter if your house has 3 rooms or 14 rooms. There's still such creativity. There's still something neat in every single house. There's still something to learn from every player.
Like,
there's so many things I've seen in your videos that I wanted to go home and do right away. Like these bugs, for instance, these crabs.
Color-coded crabs.
One of your videos, the lady said, well, look at his color. His color's perfect for this room. So she stuck him in the room with the purple. And I thought, oh, what a great idea. It's like, I'm going to decorate using bugs by color. Instead of by genus or species.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
By color. I love it. I just loved it.
This is so fantastic.
It's kind of a maze, but it's a very typical ranch house from, if you have a large ranch house.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people are hoping for 2 stories sometime in the next, year or 2.
You can do so much, obviously, with what you have. I mean, you've proven that. Totally proven that. Yeah.
There's so many ways that you can use all this stuff, indoors and out. We'll get more outdoor things. I just know we will. We'll get bushes and flowers and things, and people will really go to town. And
we have to, for sure.
And I think I saw you and Ellie on one of your videos discussing the fact that the devs are going to let people put more than one house on a plot coming up someday.
Yep.
So you can have your own little village and
That's right. That's right. And, you know, I think it would be a fun idea because we haven't really done anything with the community in the game to have sort of a community plot. You know what I mean? And
your guild, all your guild mates can.
Yeah. So where would you think would be like the coziest part of your house? Because I know one of the comments that I got was like, do the interview in like the coziest part of the house.
Well, inside the house, it's probably the spit group, but there's several really neat places outside to sit too. So it's totally up to you. Whatever makes you feel more comfortable.
I really like this. I really like this living room. I think it's so fantastic. How you have everything just angled and stuff. So I'm gonna hop up on here and have a seat.
Yes, I'm sorry. You have to walk on my furniture before you sit down, but
I know
that's the way it goes.
So rude. Oh my gosh! I encourage
bouncing on the furniture.
Yeah. So I like to use this time, you know, during the tours, kind of get to know you a little bit, and oh,
great.
I think this is probably one of my favorite parts of the tours. Like everything that we've seen so far has had depth and story and colors, and you know, you have clean core and it's like mid-century modern. How long have you been playing Palia?
I actually got in about 3 days before the open beta. I had been trying to get into the closed beta for weeks, and I finally got my email, "You're in," and I was so excited. And 3 days later, I think it was open beta. So I've since just a little bit before the very beginning of open beta.
Awesome. What level are you in Palia?
411, I believe it said. I hadn't checked it until just recently when you were getting ready to do this video. 411 overall is my level, and then my highest level in one of the various areas of study is gardening, and my gardening is 105, I think it is. So you can tell that's where I made most of my money.
Yeah.
I grew up on a farm. I've done a lot of farming.
That is awesome. It's impressive. Like, you know, the level that you're at, because it totally shows. Like you can get these things and you can move them into creative, like position them in creative ways. But the level that you are in Palia, it shows. And the second tour that I did was a level 400 house, and this is it's obvious, you know, it's obvious. Like
I saw that video. It was a man, right?
Yeah, it was Charlie.
Charlie. I couldn't think of his name. And you know, I think that's the difference, because I think his interests were outside the house.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He was level 400, but he was, you know, way up there in every skill. He had spent time fishing, hunting, all the things, you know. And I think that's a little bit of the difference between Charlie and I, really, is that he has really excelled outside the home, and I have spent way too much time inside my home.
And that is, it shows. I wouldn't say like in a bad way, but like everything is just so well balanced, you know. It's the kind of designs that like make your brain go, so nice. Like the gallery walls, like you said, the rules of 3 and 5.
There's so many little things you can do that just make it a happy place. It's my happy place.
Yeah.
It's no matter what's going on in the real world, you know, you can turn on your laptop and all of a sudden you're in Palia. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. This is fine. You know, the world's on fire around us, but this is fine.
Watch out for Eshy, and you know, make sure you don't get on the wrong side of the order.
Yeah, right.
Other than that, everything is awesome.
So what I like asking these little questions, because in my mind, I feel like Singularity 6 might find one of these tours, and to hear from someone who has spent a lot of time in the game and they've played the game, they have, you know, designed in creative ways. What do you think is an activity that's missing in the game that you would like to do?
Oh gosh, an activity that's missing.
Yes.
Well, I have to say, and I know this is because I myself am a long arm quilter. That's what I do. Since I've been forced to work from home for some health issues, I don't work outside the home anymore. I took up my mom's trade, and I quilt for people, and I also sew for people making quilts, and I make art quilts and wall quilts for people. So I'm sewing 24 hours a day.
Oh wow.
And I love it. And it's a great income for me. It's a great hobby and a great business. I have my own business, Melody Rose Sews, and I just love it. And I think I would like to be able to make clothing in the game.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
I really love that the cash shop that they have in this game supports Singularity 6 and makes money for them so that they can keep making this game better and better and better, because we love it and we don't want it to go anywhere. So, you know, they need to have some income, and I super appreciate that. And I'm glad that people can have no money at all and still play for free, and it doesn't matter if they can't buy those clothing items from the shop, because they don't help you in the game. They're just for looks.
Yeah.
And I think that is a great way to fund the game. If you're going to have microtransactions, if you're going to have a cash shop, this is the way to do it. There's nothing in there that's pay to win. So I think it's a great way. But I also think we could make clothing in the game, and I would love that. Even if we could make decor, you know, we could make pillows, we could make blankets, we could make, you know, I know that is a nightmare for the people that have to do all that programming. But you know, there's things we could make and sew, and like, almost every MMO you play in, you make gear,
right?
You know, and my husband and I would play whatever MMO came down the pipe that year, so we've played them all. And he was always better at fighting. So he was most of the time fighting bosses, and I was most of the time making all our gear.
That's awesome.
But in games like that, the top 1 or 2% are the hardcore raiders, and they're really good at it. They have great hand-eye coordination.
Yeah.
And they have thousands of hours of practice in it, and they can beat the bosses that the other 98% of us can't beat. But therefore, they get the best equipment in the game, and it feels very unfair. You know, because there's going to be these things that you can't get. And this is my first time playing a cozy game. And in this game, there's nothing you can't have other than those few items in the cash shop that you might not want to spend money on. And those of us that can support the game by spending that, we are playing it forward and paying it forward.
I like it.
For those that you know, that are teenagers or younger, or don't have any money, they can still play the whole game for free and not miss anything. They're not missing anything. They have lots of free clothing that they can choose from and mix and match. They can change clothes every day and wear something different and change the colors of all those clothing. You know, there's 6 choices of colors for every t-shirt you put on. So kids can still use their creativity and have a great time with the clothing without spending a dime. Singularity 6 did it just right. And I love that. But I still think that if we wanted to add an activity to the game, I think we could add some sort of clothing making or gear making, some kind of activity that involved, because you know that people had to do that. If they had to start the world over because it blew up when a comet hit and the whole world flooded or whatever, you start over, you're going to have to shear those sheep, and you're going to have to weave that wool, and then you're going to have to dye it with flowers and plants, and then you're going to have to sew it into clothing, you know, or stitch it into clothing or armor or whatever, you know, whatever it takes. So I think that'd be fun.
You mentioned quilt making, right? So if you were to design a Palian quilt, what of the furniture styles would you make it in?
Well, obviously, it would be mid-mod first.
Yeah.
The first one I would do would be mid-mod, and you ask about wallpaper sometimes, and I would have a mid-century modern wallpaper that was Sputnik inspired, and then I would make a quilt that was Sputnik inspired as well.
You know, it reminds me of like if it were Sputnik, but also kind of like houndstooth in a way, like an abstract.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
See, you get me. So that's what I would do first, I think. But then I would love to do one with every face, all the NPCs' faces. So each block, you know, say there's 12 NPCs, you love them all. You do 12 faces on your quilt, and it's the size of a queen size bed, you know?
Yeah.
I would do it in real life. I honestly would. I would make a choppa quilt for sure.
Ooh.
You know, with every little color.
I think you got an idea.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it would be so fun to have a wall art quilt that's just maybe 24 by 24, and you hang it on the wall like a painting, and it's a couple of choppas, you know, something like that. I think that'd be great fun.
That would be.
There's beautiful landscapes. I have to tell you, every time is the first time I come over the hill and see Tamala's house. Do you remember the first time you came over that hill and saw Tamala's house?
Yeah.
Did you just die? I mean, holy crap, it's beautiful.
First time I met Tamala,
on a quilt.
It was like she was the most unique NPC, and that was one of the things I appreciate about Palia, just kind of getting into it. It's like you've played games in the past where the NPCs are just kind of, you know, emotionless, or maybe they have a good voice actor or voice actress and the dialogue was pretty good, but like how much time that they spent animating the Palian NPCs was one of the first things that really just kind of put me back in my seat. So that, you know, and then just meeting all of these NPCs, like they are drastically different personalities.
How much more immersion in the game do you have because of the NPCs? I think it's huge.
It is a big factor in Palia for sure.
They move around, they go places, they go to sleep at night.
Yeah.
They have homes. They each have their own style in their own home. They don't just stand in one place in town and hand you an arrow every time you walk by and give them some fur, you know, like in many video games I won't mention.
So you mentioned you mentioned a little earlier, like you like farming, right?
My favorite thing to do in game is hunting. And I don't do a lot of hunting in real life, but I love hunting. And I've hunted half of my time in the game, probably like if I could sign on and play for 2 hours, 1 hour of it I probably hunted, and 1 hour I gardened. You know, because I was that way I could hunt for fun and not make as much money as you make gardening, but it was more fun than gardening. So I balanced it out, you know, that kind of thing. And throw in mining and fishing and all those things that you need to do and level up. It's all fun. I mean, I enjoy all of it, but I did the most farming by far because that's how I made my money, because I didn't do cake parties.
Yes.
But but for fun, I like to hunt. And I get myself in all kinds of trouble if I go mining. Like, I have to go get mushrooms. I've got to go get sweet leaf. I like to put sweet leaf in my regular worm farms, you know, because then they make a different fertilizer, whatever. And I start hunting because I can't stop myself. So my husband said now when I go hunting, or if I have to go out to do foraging or mining, I have to leave my arrows at home.
Now that's a funny story. Like, he's got to keep you in check. It's like, okay, now you got to leave your arrows at home because we got to go and get these things. But I don't want to hunt.
He says, I've given you so many chances to go out and get 100 sweet leaf, and you come home with 12 horns, 36 hides, 72 meat.
If they incorporate being able to craft like the basic stuff, like while you're out on the go, it's over. I mean, you can hunt anytime at that point, you know? You don't have to leave your arrows at home. you'd have to leave all your materials at home, which is even harder because you can get them while you're out, you know?
That's right. Well, yeah, and I have snuck off to Haitian before and bought arrows. Don't tell my husband.
No.
And anyway,
I mean, this is going to be recorded, so he's going to know.
Oh, shoot, you're right. That's one thing I did want to say to the developers. Please give us a cash register in Bahari somewhere so we can sell things out of our bag.
That's a good point.
I hate having to go all the way back to Kilima every time I have to empty my bag or sell everything out of my bag. And then back to Bahari for more hunting and fishing and what all the things you do over there. Because for the first, maybe the first 25% of the game, you're mainly in Kilima, but for the 75% at the end, you are always in Bahari.
One person had mentioned in a different tour, like the idea of a traveling merchant. Like you could sell to the merchant, but also like have like different things. That was kind of one of those ideas that they had.
Oh, was it Charlie who had that idea that even there could be decor or whatever that was traveling merchant themed or whatever? That'd be awesome. He could be a bard too, so he could sing to us too.
Totally.
Traveling bard salesman.
You get
we really do. There are traveling salesmen in World of Warcraft, in ESO. They're in almost every game. It'd be great to have some over in Bahari.
Only
or just a cash register like Zeki. Like a little Zeki, a Zeki 7-Eleven, Zeki 11, somewhere in the middle of Bahari. So you could run to his cash register and sell all your stuff and then, go out for another hour.
Given what Zeki does, and he practices black magic, which is basically programming, he could have a robot merchant that just walks around and it's literally a walking cash register, That would be too funny.
Exactly. Yes, because he can use flow all he wants. So he can put a couple flow stones and put together a Galdor, send him around Bahari. Because you'd still have to, if he travels, you'd still have to spend some time finding him to unload your bags.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
even trickier if it was like, not
convenient.
Yeah, totally.
If there's two things I would want more than anything in the game. One is a place to sell stuff out of your bag when you're in Bahari, and the other one would be irrigation.
I know. Right?
I want some sprinklers, man. Remember in Stardew Valley, it was like when you got the irrigation, when you got the sprinklers, it was like heaven.
Totally. Yeah, I totally relate to that, especially with Dinkum. Like once you get those sprinklers, it's you reach a new level of efficiency.
Absolutely. I mean, I know at the end you could have those little puffball guys come and pick all your food out in your fields at the very end game Stardew Valley, but that didn't matter to me near as much as the irrigation did. Oh, and I'd give anything for some iridium sprinklers.
Yeah.
No, I remember those well.
Let me tell you, it's an understatement to say that this has been a fantastic tour, because everything is just so laid out so beautifully, and we talked a little bit briefly, like I usually like to do before I go on tours, and like I would use so much more words than just hell yeah for this tour, how everything is just laid out. Because I mean, really, the most of it, as I was walking inside of your house, I didn't really have anything to say, because I mean, it's doing all the talking for me. It was easy. It was totally easy. Like this video.
So much.
Please like this video. Y'all know exactly why. And I want to know, like, in the comments, like, what y'all think, because you probably had the exact same reaction that I did when you saw this, and we'll totally be reading the comments. I look forward to hearing what everybody thinks. For sure.
Me too. I hope everybody gets some kind of inspiration, even if it's just one thing. I hope they found something that they want to take home and
I think
use
that
in
they
their
will be just fine.
I hope so. Yeah, because it's really fun to do. It's really great, and I hope it helps somebody have a little bit better day in their house.
Definitely.
That'd be great.
Melody, thank you again so much, and thank you for taking me the time to let me tour your house and your plot. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and I will see you all for the next Palia tour, because there will be another. And if you want a tour, just reach out to me. We'll make plans. We'll make plans.
Do that. Subscribe to his channel, watch all his videos, and then reach out and have him come to your house.
Absolutely. Thank you so much again, and I will see you all later. Bye.
Okay. Bye.